Hey everybody, welcome to part 4 of my analysis of The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Today's is pretty simple, but it's also kind of mind-blowing. So Sun Tzu said, "Those that excelled at warfare have made themselves unconquerable." Now you think about that. When you think about warfare, you think, okay, you're going to attack somebody, and in business, you look, okay, I'm going to beat the competition, I'm going to beat them, I'm going to win. But what he's saying is before you do any attacking or anything like that, you make yourself unconquerable. Now, back then, it meant having a big castle and walls, a big army, the best weapons. What does that mean in business? Well, it's a lot of things actually that you should really focus on. Is basically making your business strong in all regards. There's a lot of stuff to look at. You want to look at the weaknesses that your business has and the pain points. Get your team together, figure out what the pain points are, do a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threat, and fix those weaknesses. A lot of times it's just an incremental change that might fix it, but this is important. So your business is strong in that regard. It depends on the type of business. Every business is different, but do an analysis, your team could have good input, and get that stuff fixed. That's pretty clear, cut and dry. Also, build that war chest. Save that money. Cash is king, okay? You want to be saving money all the time. There's different ways to do it. You could have 10% of sales at the end of the week is automatically put into savings. Don't touch it. You could have periods of time throughout the month putting this amount of money in savings. Focus on putting that money away. Even if it's a little bit of money, it accumulates. That is super important. And it's funny, a war chest. Well, back then that meant if you went to war, you had a lot of money. Here with business, a war chest means you have a lot of money. If something happens or you need to deal with something, you got the cash. And you'll sleep better at night, trust me. Another thing you need to take care of is all the legal stuff. Is it fun? No. But this is going to be protecting your business a great deal. Make sure you have a comprehensive terms of service on your website. All the different things that a client could come back at you for to maybe go after you legally or complain or whatever, it's all in your terms of service. Look, the big guys do it. You want to sign up for a Gmail account, you got to agree to the terms of service. So you want to do that, and what we do is we send the terms of service with every invoice we send out, that we email out. So we can say, you saw it, you read this, and by paying the invoice, you agree to our terms of service. So do this if you haven't done it yet. All that stuff is really important. You also we have clients sign off on things, that type of thing. You can sign NDAs if you're working with someone. Have your employees sign non-competes or NDAs. This is the legal aspect of making your business strong. Then there's insurance. Again, not fun to think about, but it's important. There's all types of insurance. There's officers insurance, the general insurance for liability, that type of thing. Anything that can happen with your business, talk to your insurance agent, get it figured out. For example, I think with floods are not typically covered. If you're in a flood zone, get that. Make sure you sit down with your insurance agent, go over everything. I talk to my insurance agent once a year, review this stuff. Are we protected? What if somebody does this? What if somebody does that? Because let me tell you something, you could do absolutely nothing wrong and somebody could sue you. Or there could be something beyond your control that happens that really hurts your business. So get that insurance, make sure it's good. Another thing to do is to have a crisis plan. This is where you sit down, you think of different things that could go wrong and what you're going to do. So when something goes wrong, you're not scrambling to try and figure out what to do. Now, you can't plan for everything. We had a crisis plan in place when the stupid lockdowns happened from COVID, and a lot of it was irrelevant, but some of it did help. An easy way to reduce your expenses, if you have employees that are full-time, get them to 4 days a week. That brings payroll down by 20%. Think about that. So these things are that you can do immediately if something bad is happening so that you can focus on saving the business or getting through it. So get a crisis plan. Again, you're not be able to predict everything. Just get something general in place so when something happens, you can get this out and get your team together and adapt and overcome. Another thing that's important is having a strong culture. And I've talked about this before. I'm very focused on that here. We have our mission statement on the wall. We have our core values on the wall. We're very focused on these things. Strong army is the same thing as a strong workforce, and the good culture enhances that. It's different for every business. It could be a different thing, everything from little perks that are fun to hybrid working to whatever it might be, to engaging your staff, to empowering them. But culture is very important. If you don't have your core values and mission statement figured out, get that together, get it on the wall in your office. Also, something that's very important to keep your business strong so you're unconquerable is have people in the queue to hire. You never know when someone's going to leave, an employee's going to leave. You can have a great employee, they love it, they get married and move to Chicago. There's nothing you can do about that. So instead of waiting to look for people, always have on your website that you're hiring. Collect those resumes, maybe even interview somebody and tell them, I'm not hiring now, but I might be in the future, wanted to meet you. Because if you have people in the queue, if a key team member leaves, you're not scrambling and the business is not going to be hurt as much. You can already have warm leads to follow up with to get that team member replaced and everything keeps humming along. Along those lines is you want to get your current employees to record all the institutional knowledge and procedures if that is not recorded. Because again, if somebody leaves and knows all this stuff, it could really hurt your business. You want to get everything from procedures to different things you do in the office. Get that down in written form. It can be in a binder. A new person starts, they just open the binder, they know what to do. Sure, you still need to train them, but it makes it a heck of a lot easier. Another thing you want to do is always be innovating and adapting, especially these days with the technology, with this dumb artificial intelligence stuff. Like, for example, we're adapting very quickly to the artificial intelligence art that's out there because that's going to affect our business. It's a new thing. We need to be ready for it and not try and catch up. You got to be ahead of these things. Study what's going on in your industry with tech, with innovations, and you get your team together and inspire them to innovate. Because if you're not innovating in business, you're dying on the vine. Jack Welch from GE said that, and he's absolutely right. So again, it all comes down to a different way of looking at it. Instead of trying to beat the enemy, if you make your business unconquerable, you're in great shape. And then if you do need to go to battle, you're in good shape to do that. You don't have to worry about these weaknesses. So think about that. Every business is different. Start with the SWOT analysis and these other things I've mentioned and focus on making your business strong. It couldn't be more important. So you have a crisis plan in place. You have a lot of money in the war chest. You have great insurance for stuff. You got the legals on everything with different agreements, terms of service contracts, all that stuff. And then you're poised for success and you're strong. And that's how you beat the competition. Think about that. It's kind of a reverse way of thinking about it, but a common theme throughout the art of war is not to actually go to war. Because Sun Tzu saw so much death and destruction in China back then, constantly fighting all these city-states and territories. That's how you truly win, by being better than your competition, by being stronger than your competition, and that's how you have the last laugh. So I hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned for next time.